All right, here we are for Moneyline. It has been a while since we have been able to record an episode, and I am excited to get back at it. I do not have herpes. I have a cut on my lip. Just warning. Some people might be thinking one thing or the other, but it is not herpes. So don't be alarmed. I'm safe. So a lot going on. I am Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. I'd like to thank our sponsors at Procyon Partners, one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. They specialize in employee benefits, wealth management, retirement planning. President Sean Rabinowitz is a lifesaver. He supported our podcast network when nobody else did and believed in me, and I am grateful to him, and we thank him very much. Green Street Trust International is owned and operated by Rennell Jump and UConn legendary basketball player Jake Voskuhl, who this guy, Steve Cully, is going to have a Husky talk with Wednesday at 11, I believe. 11. That's going to be interesting. I'm going to be scared to death. I was a freshman when Jake was a senior, and he was a presence, and I was terrified of him because he was a somebody and I was a nobody, and not much has changed since. We also have Pete Finch in the Finch Law Firm. If you've suffered any type of personal injury, a slip and fall, a car accident, your mother-in-law, she decided to run you over with her car, your wife got angry and decided to stab you, the Finch firm is for you. Pete has won legal battles all over the state of Connecticut, and he will go to war to make sure you get every dollar you deserve in compensation. You have to remember, when you're in a pinch, call Finch or go to his website, thefinchfirm.com. Dynamic Human Performance is owned and operated by UConn legendary running back Andre Dixon. Andre trains boys and girls of all ages, of all sports. He has a 5,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility in Hartford, Connecticut. He has a boot camp program, 7 days a week, 6 a.m. You want to get in shape, you go work with Andre. He will never fail you. He also has an athletic development program where he takes boys and girls in the sport of their choice, trains them from the ground up, helps them to become the best they can possibly be, and in their sport. He really focuses on the one sport and helps them reach their full potential. Andre has sent boys and girls to college on scholarship for all different types of sports, which is amazing. So if you're in Connecticut and you want to work with the best, that, my friend, is Andre Dixon. Go to www.dynamichumanperformance.com. We also have down south Julius Williams and the Trench Mob. Julius is in Decatur, Georgia. He trains offensive and defensive linemen. They compete in 5v5 tournaments all across the country. And happy to say they were undefeated this past season. They also go to college showcase camps, and proud to say that every camp the Trench Mob attended, a member was offered a full scholarship to college. Julius is the best of the best. He sent kids to Florida, Florida State, Miami, Clemson, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, just to name a few. He has sent kids everywhere from the SEC, ACC, Big Ten to the FCS levels. Some of the HBCU schools, Georgia State, UAB. Conference USA. Julius, the percentage of players that he works with who wind up going to college on a scholarship is around 80%. So it's an investment. If you want to save yourself the money of paying college tuition, you will go and invest and work with Julius Williams and his team. Jordan Harris, Anthony Smith, Mike Suarez. They have a couple other guys. They are phenomenal. They are phenomenal. 5v5 is picked up. It's offensive versus defensive linemen. They have a coalition, and they have tournaments set up all spring. So you will get recruited, and you will be challenged by playing against the best. So the big news, I would say, of our sports week would be Penn State. Penn State. They were in the National Semifinals last year, and they fire their coach. They fired their coach, Mr. James Franklin. I was absolutely baffled, I guess would be the word, but shocked, to say the least. There really is no grace period, no patience. Now, everyone's going to point to he had a winning percentage of 160 versus teams that were ranked in the top 10, I believe. So he did not perform well against the teams that he allegedly was, supposed to be beating. But 12 years. 12 years. I just get blown away that someone who has been in your program, part of your family, your athletic department for 12 years, can be dismissed haphazardly after 6 games. And, on one of our other shows with Joe D'Ambrosia and Dave Schumann, we talk about this, and it's basically, firing a coach mid-season really doesn't do anything. So what are you looking to accomplish by this? Are you firing him just to fire him? And the best part is the payout is $50 million. Yes, you heard me correct. James Franklin is going to be paid $50 million not to coach. That's kind of always been a dream of mine. I had always wanted to get hired and then get fired and then just get paid not to coach. But anyway, it just blows me away. I think college athletics, yes, it's more competitive. Yes, it's fun. The games are thrilling, but it really is frustrating to me because there's no loyalty, and I just feel like the players are playing more so because it's money. They want their money. They want to get paid. And it's not the camaraderie. It's not the loyalty. It's not what we were used to. And that's what's bothering me. It's all about the money. I mean, I get it. It's a $1 billion industry. It's a $1 billion industry now, college football. So, of course, they're going to have less patience. But this is a guy who has had success. All right, you want to hammer him for the you want to hammer him for his percentage against top 10 teams. Realistically, what schools are dominating against the best of the best? It just doesn't happen. It's tough, I know, obviously, Ohio State does well. Alabama traditionally has done well, but overall, when you look at things, it's not reality to think that you're going to go in there and you're going to make a difference in a year or two. And James Franklin, sure, he had 12. He had 12 years. How about show the guy some loyalty? How about show him some respect? How about his quarterback got hurt? Drew Aller. Now, I don't think Drew Aller was anything spectacular. Was Drew Aller going to win them a national championship? Probably not. But if you look at the dead money that colleges are paying, colleges and universities, the dead money that they're paying coaches and coaching staffs right now not to coach, coaches that they have fired, it's astronomical. And we're going through a period where the House versus NCAA settlement has stated that athletic departments can pay student athletes up to $20 million a year per department. So football and men's basketball primarily are the sports that are taking the cut of the pie. Allegedly, now, most athletic departments don't have $20 million to spend. You're talking about the creme de la creme, the best of the best that do. The Penn States, the Notre Dames, the Alabamas. Trent Dilfer from UAB, he got fired yesterday. Do you think the UAB athletic department had $20 million to spend? No. So schools, even in the ACC, they're not going to have $20 million to spend. So that puts you at a huge disadvantage. I was very disappointed that Franklin got fired. I am not a Penn State fan, not at all. I think that it's ridiculous to fire a guy who is 3 plays away from maybe being undefeated. He lost in double overtime to Oregon, who's one of the best teams in the country, aside from maybe Indiana. And sure, okay, a team that has not won a game, unranked UCLA, they play, they get beaten. Sure, an embarrassment. Northwestern is the shits, to be honest. They're not great. Northwestern comes in and beats them, okay? So it's their second straight home game that they lost, and their third overall. My thing is, you throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's just for $50 million. That's just obscene to me. And the athletic director who signed him to the 10-year contract, Sandy Barber, it was in 2021. It was for 10 years, $85 million. They're going to be paying Franklin a base salary of $500,000 and supplemental pay of $6.5 million and an insurance loan of $1 million until 2031. So this man is going to be getting paid for the next 6 years. Now, because this was one of the first fully guaranteed contracts. There's been several since, but this was fully guaranteed. Other contracts have stipulations built in where if you go and you get another job, that takes out some of that compensation. So Penn State's on the hook for that. They're building a new stadium, not a new stadium, or renovation. $700 million renovation to Beaver Stadium. And it just, college overall has just been bothering me because we are seeing programs cut, professors losing their jobs, academic departments on shoestring budgets, and, the fat cat athletic departments, it's $1 billion industry and then some. So it bothers me. Trent Dilfer at UAB, he was a poor hire to begin with. He didn't have a lot of experience. UAB came back after the program was canceled. They had some success. They had their coach in 2022 step down because of health reasons. The interim coach went 7-6, never considered for the job. Which then brings me to William Belichick. Bill Belichick. I worked with his daughter, Amanda. Amanda is one of the kindest human beings on the planet. Her husband, phenomenal people. Love them. Love spending time with them. They were just very, very welcoming. And Bill, I don't know if he just didn't know what to do with his time, but it doesn't look like he wants to even be in coaching. You watch him, the look on his face never changes. He looks completely miserable, and he just looks like he doesn't know the college game. The college game moves at such a rapid pace. It moves at such a speed, and it's built on money and donors and fundraising and the transfer portal and transformations in a year. And we're seeing it happening over and over. And that, in my opinion, is what's hurting the sport, because universities are seeing, well, Texas Tech transformed overnight. Vanderbilt transformed overnight. Why can't we? So coaches are on shorter and shorter leashes. Only the problem is the majority of coaches who are under contract right now were signed kind of when the the transfer portal and NIL had started. So they're on bigger contracts. And I think what you're going to see is the years are going to go down. I don't think you're going to see the 6-year deals, definitely not the 10-year deals. I know everyone is paranoid of their coaches being poached. So there's buyout agreements. Everyone's paranoid about Indiana and Kurt Cignetti. He's probably the coach of the year at this point. And he is going to have offers galore. And maybe someone is going to drive the Brinks truck up to his house. And he's earned it. This man has earned it. He deserves it. He was a top assistant, I believe, at Alabama. He goes and he coaches at IUP, which is Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Yes, I know it doesn't make sense, but it's Indiana University in Pennsylvania. It's a Division II program. It's very good. He did an outstanding job there. Got a head coaching job at Vanderbilt. Did an outstanding job there. Wound up in Indiana. And it's rare for an SEC coach to leave for a Big Ten job. But I believe the money, Vanderbilt at the time was not paying as well. I don't know the exact backstory on how much he was being paid at Vanderbilt. So I just think it's a mess. I just think the priorities are wrong. The kids are, I mean, we always were tools. And, you know, I always told it when I coached. When I was coaching at Holy Cross, I said there's 3 types of coaches. There's coaches who care that you're on time, healthy for practice, play well in games. There's coaches who care that you're academically eligible, perform at practice, do your job at games. And then there's coaches who care about you as people off the field, care that you're doing well in school, care that you're showing up to practice, giving your best, learning everything, and then performing well in games. And I always took it the extra mile. I mean, I always wanted my players to have a personal relationship with me because I wanted to show them they weren't just a number. Because in a lot of these places, they are. You know, you hear stories about Belichick not even knowing the names of some of the players on his team, not fully understanding the rules of the transfer portal. He brought in 40 guys, 50 guys in the winter transfer portal. Spring practice happens. He's already writing guys off. He's telling guys to leave after spring practice. So they got winter workouts, 15 spring practices, show what they could do. If it wasn't enough, see ya. Go in the transfer portal. We're done. So I do hope Congress passes one of the acts. I believe the SCORE Act is one of them. And there's another one that's being pushed by the Democrats that would eliminate the 1961 antitrust law in sports, which would give college football as a whole, I think, more negotiating power for their broadcasting rights. Because, you know, you're at the mercy of your conference. and you're at the mercy of who you're playing, what your record is, what you're drawing. And I do think that's how it should be, but there's the haves and the have-nots. And I just put it like Big Ten, you got Indiana, team of the year right now, just rocking and rolling. And then, you got Rutgers. Who's there? You got Michigan State. Not doing great. Purdue. I mean, there's just Illinois has sparked and is having a great year. But it's just the nature of how much college football has turned into a business. And I know people are going to say, Steve, you're a dumbass. College football has always been a goddamn business. Yeah, I know. I know the $100 handshakes and all that. But from my own experience at the University of Connecticut with Randy Edsall, yes, was he demanding? Absolutely. Yes, was he hard on us? Yes. Yes, was he a disciplinarian? 100%. Did he care about us as people? I truly believe he did. I truly believe he did. He always pushed graduation. That was always number one. Do your academics. Get your degree. Your degree is going to last you for life. Like, there's nobody here that's going to be signing $1 million NFL contracts. You need that college degree. And Coach Edsall was very, very hard on me. I did not have it easy. I struggled because I wasn't a tremendous athlete. I was very good at picking up my assignment. I knew who to go to. I knew how to block the right guy. I didn't always block him. I sometimes got my head handed to me on a silver platter. My junior year was my biggest struggle, and I'll tell the story. I got moved to guard, and I had started for 4 games, I believe. I wasn't a very good guard. I was pretty terrible inside. I wasn't athletic enough. I played too high. Tackle, you have room for error because you're playing in space. So by the time, even in pass protection, by the time you make contact, 1.5 to 2 seconds has passed. So you always have a chance. And then you're playing against undersized defensive ends. So I was more of a mauler, a big, strong dude. I wasn't an athletic person. And Coach Edsall told me this. We met going into my sophomore year. He said, Steve, you're going to be the starter. And he said, listen, you are not good enough to play at 80%. And he goes, do you know what that means? I go, not really. He goes, if you take a play off, or if you don't give 100% on a play, you're going to get beat. There's guys who can play at 50, 60, 75% and still win that rep and still get the job done. You're not one of them. You're not one of them because of your limitations, because of your lack of athleticism, because of your lack of technique. For you to have success, and you have to give 100% on every play to have a chance. And it didn't really resonate with me when he said it, but my sophomore year, I started all 11 games. I played with a broken wrist. My junior year, I ended up getting benched, and I was miserable. I just felt like a complete failure. I felt like, I had asked to be moved to guard because I saw the writing on the wall that the two tackles were better than me. Mr. C.J. Hessel, shout out to C.J. Ryan Krug, who was recruited the class before me. He was awesome. He was from Jersey. He was a beast. He went to camp with the Patriots. So I saw the writing on the wall that I was not going to play tackle. But I felt I was one of the best 5 linemen. And in order for me to get on the field, I had to play guard. So I played guard. I stunk. I got destroyed every game. And coach had to bench me. And I came back in because of an injury, and I played out. I finished starting. I think I started the last 4 games. I started 8 or 9 out of the 12 games that year. And in the off season, coach had a meeting with me, and the meeting did not go well. Coach said, he asked me what I thought, and I said, Coach, I thought I got better as the year went on. I want to take more of a leadership role. I want to have accountability, and I want to, have a great senior year. And he said to me straight out, he said, Steve, I just want to let you know, I see you being probably on the scout team, and you're going to have to fight like hell to even be just a backup. And the color drained from my face. I was just baffled by this. And he's like, if you are going to be here, you can't be a locker room lawyer, which I was. He called me that. And it was basically just because I was a complainer. I was negative. And I still am a glass half empty type of guy. He said, you got to have a good attitude. You got to be supportive of the guys who are playing. And if you're not, you can look to transfer. So I remember going back to my apartment that evening, and I was really upset. And I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it all day. And at like 8 o'clock at night, I told my roommate, Ed and J. Chuck, who doesn't watch any of these shows anyway, so it's fine. I said, Ed, take me down to Edsall's office. I'm going to tell him, I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. He's like, you sure you want to do that? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to quit. I'm going to screw it. So he drove me down there, and I was ready to tell him off. I'm like, I've done everything asked of me. I've worked hard. The guys coming back, we were losing Hessel. I thought I would have a chance to go back to playing tackle and could contribute. Turns out the coaches had left for the night. So my plan was thwarted. And what happened was the next day I watched WWE wrestling, and Hulk Hogan had just made his comeback in 2002. And I am a diehard Hulk Hogan fan. I would have done anything to meet Hulk Hogan. He was my idol. He was the icon. He was my hero. I worshiped the ground the Hulkster walked on. And that's the honest truth. So Hulk was in the NWO. He was Hollywood Hogan. He was being an arrogant prick at the time. And I thought to myself, you know what? He wants me to quit. I'm just going to be an arrogant prick. And that's what I was. I went into winter workouts and spring practice that year, and I was an arrogant prick. And the guy that was playing ahead of me was struggling. And within a week, I was moved back to the starting right tackle job. But that is what I think is missing from today's college football. I think kids see, okay, if they get benched, if they're not playing, it's not, let's get better, let's improve, let's work harder, let's make adjustments. It's let's go to the transfer portal. Let's find somewhere else to play. The grass is greener. And it's worked out, and other times it hasn't. So that's why I say that. I don't think kids are committed. I think, we're getting a lot of 1-year rentals where guys will stay for a year, and then they'll either play the rule is if you graduate in 4 years, you can play a fifth year somewhere else and take grad class. And the NCAA has been great granting waivers left and right because of COVID and this and that. And if you came from a JUCO, you didn't have the potential to earn as much as others, so they would give you waivers. And that's why there's so many 6th, 7th year seniors. So that's my rant on college football. I don't like the way it's going. I know that it's going to be this way. It's not changing anytime soon. The $20 million athletic budget, I feel bad because unless they get proper funding, Olympic sports are going to be the ones that suffer and get cut because they're the non-revenue sports. As Woody Hayes used to say, 80,000 people don't fill the stands to watch a chemistry test. Well, 80,000 people aren't filling the stands to watch certain Olympic sports, curling or whatever. So, but they deserve scholarships. And they were saying with the money, Penn State's paying James Franklin $50 million in a buyout. That money could pay for 5,000 scholarships. 5,000 for 4 years. And that's what makes me sad. And that's what makes me sick. But college football isn't changing. There's nothing I can say or do to make that happen because Steve Cully can't manage his own life, let alone manage college football. So it was good to see Indiana win. I was impressed with Alabama, Ty Simpson from Syracuse transfer. Good for him. He's done great. Indiana, Ohio State, and Miami, I think realistically right now are 1, 2, and 3. I still think Oregon is going to get it figured out and find a way to obviously keep things rolling. I mean, I think this was just a bump in the road for them. I don't think Franklin should have been fired. That's what's upsetting. 12 years, yeah, he's 3-3, but with the schedule that's coming up, I mean, anything can happen. I know Drew Aller's lost for the year, but you're just the coaching salaries are so high. We can't afford these guaranteed contracts and these buyouts. I mean, Lincoln Riley at USC has a 10-year, $110 million contract. Brian Kelly at LSU signed a 10-year, $95 million deal. And the craziest one was Michigan State gave a 10-year, $75 million deal to Mel Tucker, who was fired for inappropriate relations with a female. So going to the NFL, I have to talk about our Giants, obviously. Big win over the Eagles of Philadelphia. Jackson Dart, very happy. He was 17 of 25. 25, I think, is his pitch count. If we can keep him between 25 and 30, I think we have a chance. We ran the ball well. I didn't like that Dart ran the ball as much as he did. He had 50-something yards rushing, but I just worry about him getting hurt. Daniel Jones, I am so happy for him at Indianapolis because I just thought he got a raw deal with the Giants. And part of it, he was hurt, but he didn't have a ton around him. They didn't take advantage. They when they had him and Saquon healthy, they were good. I think with Neighbors, he got a few games with Neighbors and he was gone. So that's disappointing to see. But I think that he is going to lead the Colts to an AFC South title. I think that they can beat. I definitely think they can beat Houston is one of the teams up there, but it's their race and it's their time. And I feel bad for Jim Irsay not being around to see this because he was a football lifer, and it's, his daughters are running the team and they're doing a good job. So that was sad, but I'm very happy for Daniel Jones. The other shocker, obviously, the Jets at minus 19 yards passing. And a reporter asked Aaron Glenn, so Justin Fields, is he going to be your starter going forward? And he said, what kind of question is that? That's a stupid question. Just because he had one bad game, we're just going to bench him? I would say Justin Fields has not just had one bad game. Justin Fields has had a career of bad games. If you gave me a choice of the 30 starting quarterbacks right now in the NFL who are playing, I might take Joe Flacco over Justin Fields. He's limited with what he can do. There's guys open. He misses them. He holds the ball too long. And even Carolina's quarterback, Bryce Young. Bryce Young has picked it up. That's great to see. And teams give up on quarterbacks so goddamn fast. Bryce Young was the bust of all busts last year. Heisman Trophy winner. Bust. Now he has 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's thrown for 1,500 yards. No, it's not lighting the stat sheet on fire, but he's showing improvement. He's showing what he's capable of. He threw 3 touchdown passes yesterday. So happy for him. Justin Fields, he has 799 passing yards on the year, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. And I think that's why Aaron Glenn is sticking up for him, because he not necessarily turning the ball over. But come on. And poor Garrett Wilson, he's their best receiver, and he's just frustrated as all hell. The Jets had a chance to score before the half. They did not take it and ran the clock out. That was frustrating. Baker Mayfield with Tampa, again, another guy, another quarterback that got given up on early. And the Cleveland Browns, I hope this is the curse of Mayfield for the next 100 years. They traded a king's ransom for Deshaun Watson, who had 21 civil suits for sexual misconduct, sexual assault. They traded for him. They didn't care. And Deshaun Watson has played, I think, 11 games since the trade happened. He's been hurt, and he's still rehabbing his Achilles injury. The Browns played Dylan Gabriel. I didn't think he was awful. It just he got the crap kicked out of him. Pittsburgh blitzed them. They sacked him. They knocked them to kingdom come. And I'm going to say that I am happy for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is 4-1. He's 42 years old, and they are leading the AFC North. And there's no reason not to think that they can win it, even though, we're five games in. The NFL obviously front-loaded the schedule a little bit more this year to play some of the tougher games up front, some of the conference games. So it's made a huge difference. I think Pittsburgh, depending on when Joe Burrow comes back, Pittsburgh can beat Cincinnati. Pittsburgh is showing signs of life. Now, the question is, this is an all-in year for them. I really think it's Super Bowl or bust. You signed a 42-year-old quarterback. They're winning. They're going to win the AFC North. Hopefully, they got a shot at a bye. They haven't won the division since 2020. It would be huge. But again, if they lose in the first round of the playoffs, are they going to say, well, it was a bust? Maybe we should have drafted a quarterback. And then, we got to see an exciting game between the Chargers and the Dolphins. The Chargers beat the Dolphins, and Mike McDaniel, who I enjoy because he's sarcastic, and I just like his press conferences. He's comedic. They are 1-5, and Tampa Bay, they are one of two teams through Sunday that are 5-1. So Buffalo plays Atlanta tonight, and the 4-1 team is the Colts. So that is exciting to see. I think Tampa is incredible. I'm so happy for Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield got thrown just a pile of dog poop. He got sent to Carolina. He got sent to LA, and then I think that's when he wound up with Tampa. Nobody expected that Baker would be the one to replace Tom Brady, but he did, and he's doing a great job. The Cardinals, Jacoby Brissett, he did a nice job filling in for Kyler Murray, but I think that they should obviously keep him out another week. The New England freaking Patriots, Drake May. Drake May is turning out to be everything that we thought he was. I thought he was one of the best quarterbacks out of that group, out of that class. And the jury's still out, but I think this is his second year as a starter, full-time starter. I think he played a little bit his first year, but Drake May, good for him. Good for him in New England. Bob Kraft, say whatever you want about him. He's not in the Hall of Fame, and I'd love to see him get another title. Mike Vrabel, outstanding coach. That shows what a coach can do for you. They can bring in a culture, discipline, confidence, expectations. The Patriots are going into games expecting to win. They are going in with confidence. They are going in with a game plan that they know can be successful. They are going in knowing we got Drake May. Drake's going to make throws. Drake's going to make plays. Drake's going to do whatever it takes to make sure that we win. And they didn't have that with what's his face, the guy on the guy who's on San Francisco right now that they drafted early on. I'm sorry, his name slips my mind right now. But Drake May has taken over. He's a leader of the team. It's great to see. It's great to see Sam Darnold, another one. Do you realize Carolina had Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield on their roster a couple years ago, vying for the quarterback job? And both of them got dumped. And it goes to show you it's not just all on the quarterback. And I use the Brock Purdy defense for this. Brock Purdy is a facilitator. He's the point guard. He spreads the ball around to everyone who needs to have it. And that is why they have success. When you have a Christian McCaffrey, when you have the receivers they do, and New England couldn't run the ball for shit. Drake May threw for 261 yards, 3 touchdowns. He led the team in rushing with like 25 yards. They could not run the ball. The Raiders, good to see them win. I mean, it was against Tennessee, who I believe the Sisters of the Poor could beat right now. Cam Ward is looking more and more like a bust, obviously. But again, he went to one of the worst teams in the league with a coaching change that, doesn't have a ton around him. So you can't judge him the book by the cover, the 1 year. But it was good to see. I'm a big Geno Smith fan. Another guy, Geno Smith, bounced around the league, team after team after team. He got a home in Seattle just kind of by happenstance when they traded Russell Wilson. Put together 3 very good years. He did not get a contract offer. And Seattle ended up bringing in Darnold. So, I mean, the Raiders sit at 2-4, but I definitely think they're much better than that, and they can turn things around. If they can finish the first half of the season 4-4, that's a win for them. And a tough AFC West when you got the Broncos, and obviously the Chiefs are starting to turn things around. The Chiefs are 3-3. They were 2-3 coming into the game against the Lions, and they pulled this one out, 30-17 victory. And, also the nice brawl they had after the game. It's always nice to see that. Love the brawl. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. But again, it's just hysterical to see some of these teams, especially I just have to throw in the DALLASCOW boys. Jerry Jones. Boy, did he outsmart us all by trading Micah Parsons. What a genius move on his part. Good job, Jerry. Jerry, I'm going to nominate you for Executive of the Year, General Manager of the Year, Coach of the Year, maybe for the Nobel Peace Prize. Maybe we'll give you a Purple Heart too. We'll find something. You deserve everything because you are always right. I'm not a psychologist. I've been told I'm probably a narcissist, or borderline personality. I don't know, one or the other. Jerry Jones is a narcissist. He does nothing wrong. And he's got an answer for everything. Answer for everything. Oh, it was because of this. It was because of that. Never because of him. It was never, I made a mistake in signing this player. I made a mistake in giving an extension to this player. Never that. It's always someone else's fault. Cracks me up. So Jerry loses to Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers, 30-27. The Panthers had the ball with 6 minutes to go in the game, they managed to run the clock basically out and kick a game-winning field goal. God bless them. And the reason I say that is because what's his face? Had just been getting destroyed. Bryce Young had just been getting destroyed. And it's good to see him finally have some success, because he doesn't seem like a bad guy. He seems like someone who works hard, wants to win, has talent and ability. And now they're 500 for the first time, I think, since 2021. And the other part that was funny, the leading rusher for Carolina was Rico Dowdell. Rico Dowdell, a running back given up on by none other than the Dallas Cowboys. Huh. So he carried the ball 30 times for 183 yards. Great job, Jerry. Boy, you can evaluate talent. I could get my dog Archie. Arch, you want to come down here? Bark once if you like Rico. Bark twice if you don't. Archie can evaluate talent better than Jerry Jones at this time. And I wouldn't have a problem with it so much as the smugness of Mr. Jerry Jones. Now, believe me, I can be as smug as anyone. I can be smug. I can be petulant. I can be a baby. I can be, a miserable prick. But Jerry Jones. So let's see. What do we have on tap? Tonight is the Bills. We got the Bills Falcons at 7:15. See, I was talking about this with one of my other co-hosts, Frank Cristiano. I don't, the staggering of the two Monday night games, it's all because of financial benefit. The league obviously thinks they're making more money because they're having two Monday night games. Great. And the league makes more money because you have to have 45 different streaming platforms to watch your team play. Great. The Broncos game against the Jets was like watching paint dry, the 13-11. Yeah, Denver came out with the win. Justin Fields had the least amount of passing yards for many years. Trying to see if there's anything else. The Ravens dropping the 1-4 or the 1-4, that just baffles me. I know Lamar Jackson's hurt, but even when he was there, man, they weren't playing great. So just looking ahead, I want to look ahead to next week. All right. I don't know that obviously lines are going to be out yet. So Steelers versus the Bengals, I'm taking the Steelers. That is one game I'm taking regardless of what the spread ends up being. I'm taking the Steelers. They're hot. They're winning. Aaron Rodgers is playing rejuvenated. He seems interested. So I'm definitely taking them. Let's see who else we got here. Miami versus Cleveland. Boy, that's going to be a barn burner. Minnesota versus Philly could be interesting. Philly's been getting rattled. They've been getting beaten up in the press. They've been for weeks. I'm not sold on McCarthy. I can't remember if Carson Wentz is playing or not. – I'm taking Philly. And New England plays Tennessee. Okay, so I'm taking New England against Tennessee regardless of what the spread is. And the Chargers against the Colts. That's a tough one. Not touching it. Green Bay against Arizona. I'm taking that regardless of what the spread is. And my spike pick, the Redskins. I'm not saying Commanders. The Redskins over the Cowboys, regardless of what the spread is. I think that Jerry Jones, his mishaps are catching up to him. The team is becoming frustrated. Green Bay is on the cusp of greatness. The NFC Central, the Norris division, the NFC North, isn't anything right now to write home about. So I'm going to go with Green Bay. So those are my picks. College, UConn against BC. That's our game, baby. We need our Huskies to come through. UConn coming through against BC. We're going to set the tone. We're going to show everyone that we belong. We're going to beat a Power 4 conference team. We are going to bounce back after a lackluster performance at Buffalo. Yes, we came out and dominated against FIU, but FIU was one of the worst teams I've ever seen in my life. Realistically, the second half of the season, we're going to beat UAB. We're going to beat Florida Atlantic. And I think we're going to beat Rice. We get BC. Duke's going to be the tough one. Air Force is going to be the tough one. But I think that if we play the way we're capable of playing on all sides of the ball, we can beat anyone on that schedule. No doubt in my mind. Delaware was a hiccup. Syracuse, we should have won. We're a couple plays away from being 6-0. So finishing 8-4 would be great. Going to another bowl game, 9-3 would be even better. But I just have to mention James Whitfield of Luther James Insurance. For the last 3 years, James has dedicated himself to the art of financial services. He specializes in insurance policies, especially life insurance. He can save you a ton of money and absolutely make it tax-free. He also focuses on retirement planning. He knows how stressful retirement planning can be. How many years do I have? Is my money going to last? Do I have enough? What do I do? James can answer all those questions and more for you. You can go to his website, lutherjamesinsurance.com. James will give you a free consultation, and I promise you he will make you a ton of money. We also have Fresh, Ned Von Young himself, Fresh Fold Laundry Co. and Laundry Company in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Ned Von is an entrepreneur. He is ahead of his time. He has a laundry service that you don't even have to go into. You can schedule online. You put your clothes out in a clear plastic bag. They come, pick them up, wash, dry, fold them for you at Land Speed Records. You can come back and pick them up. They have you can get it expedited within 24 hours, I believe. Normally it's 48 hours. Now they're in the process of offering a delivery service. So you can get your laundry done, washed, dried, and folded for you, and picked up and dropped off. It's a great deal. He has an online subscription model. It's weekly and bi-weekly. You can subscribe and have your laundry done. It's amazing. He has deals for college students in the area, in Chapel Hill, if you go to the University of North Carolina. North Carolina A&T, other schools in the area. Many, many deals for college students. You can go to their website. It's myfreshfold-laundry.com. But Ned Vaughn is amazing, and we love him very much. Our newest sponsor is Rob Hill, R. Hill Enterprises, Inc. Rob specializes as well. He does financial services. He does wills, trusts, insurance policies, life insurance. He goes, we did a presentation on his podcast the other day of why you need to have a living trust, or a trust of some sort, and a will. So Rob is excellent. He's out of Chicago, Illinois. It's rhillenterprises.com. Check out his website and his services. So I am Steve Cully. This has been Moneyline. Remember, when life gives you lemons, and boy, they've given me a lot, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right back